is there any evidence for Jesus outside of the Bible? Yes, there's loads. If we go simply to, New Testament scholars are basically unanimous. Well, they are pretty much. Well, I'd say any New Testament scholar worth their salt unanimously agrees that Jesus Christ was a real person, was crucified and died under Pontius Pilate. Paulette Fredrickson is a skeptic. She states that. Raymond E. Brown, Luke Timothy Johnson states it. John Dominic Crossan, in his book Jesus: A Revolutionary Biography, Jesus' death by crucifixion under Pontius Pilate is as sure as anything historical can ever be. Bart Ehrman, again, a secular critic of Christianity, states that Jesus died by crucifixion is almost universally attested in our sources, early and late. We've
Sam,
got.
I'd like to interject one of the historians of that time.
Yes.
Can I read something from him?
Yeah, of course.
This is from Josephus, not a Christian, not a follower of Jesus, but one of probably the most famous historian of that era. He wrote this. He says, now there was about this time Jesus, a wise man, if it be lawful to call him a man, for he was a doer of wonderful works and a teacher of such men as received the truth with pleasure. He drew over to him both many of the Jews and many of the Gentiles. He was the Christ. And when Pilate, at the suggestion of the principal men among us, had condemned him to the cross, those that loved him at the first did not forsake him, for he appeared to them alive again the third day, as the divine prophets had foretold these, and 10,000 other wonderful things concerning him. And the tribe of Christians so named from him are not extinct to this day. That's a testimony from someone who's a well-established and respected historian. And so people will go back to him for what took place at that era and that time. And he was very clear about it.
Yeah. And not just them, there's Tacitus as well. It writes in Annalus 15.44, Christus, from whom the name has its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilatus. Letter of Marabon Sepharon. Talmud Sanhedrin even mentions it as a Jewish source. We've also got, obviously, Josephus writing in Antiquities, which is probably what you've just read from, yes. I believe. We've got Lucian, the death of Peregrine, says that the Christians worship a man to this day, a distinguished personage who introduced their novel rites and was crucified on that account. And Celsus wrote in against Celsus 8.41, you mock and revile the statutes of our gods, but if you had reviled Bacchus or Hercules in person, you would not perhaps have done so with impunity, but those who crucified your god when present among the men. These all are references to Christ. There's tons of extra biblical sources that point to Jesus actually being a real person.
This wasn't done in secret. I mean, it changed the world. It was kind of a big deal. Everybody knew about it.